The hardest part is always the beginning. Everyone wants to be great until it's time to start. Everyone wants to win until they realize what it costs. You pray for the mountain and cry when you see how steep it is. The hardest part is always the beginning. And most people quit before they even begin. Let's be honest. Starting is brutal. It's lonely. It's messy. It's uncertain. You've got a dream that's bigger than your reality. But every time you take a step, the doubt screams louder. The fear gets heavier. The world throws every excuse your way. And part of you starts to believe it. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should wait. But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. There is no magic feeling. The beginning feels like failure, like embarrassment, like 1,000 eyes waiting for you to trip. But if you never start, you'll never evolve, you'll never conquer. The man you dream of becoming, he's waiting on the other side of your first move. So stop hesitating, stop overthinking. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to feel the fire and move anyway, because the hardest part is the beginning. And once you push past it, you become unstoppable. Most people don't fail at life, they just never start. They talk about change, they dream about freedom, they rehearse the speech they'll give after they make it. But when it's time to move, they freeze. Why? Because beginnings expose everything. Your insecurities, your fears, your lack of direction. And that's why most people hide in preparation. And they'll say, I'm just doing research. I'm waiting for the right time. I need to learn more first. But deep down, they're scared. Scared of being seen as a beginner. Scared of not being perfect. Scared of starting with nothing. But here's what they never tell you. Every master was once a mess. Every champion, once a nobody. Every millionaire, once broke and uncertain. They didn't wait until they were ready. They started ugly, started unsure, started anyway, and that's the difference. Not talent, not luck, but courage. The courage to say, I may look foolish now, but I won't stay here forever. I may not have it all figured out, but I'm willing to begin. Because you can fake confidence, you can fake motivation, but you can't fake the work. It's uncertain. You've got a dream that's bigger than your reality. But every time you take a step, the doubt screams louder. The fear gets heavier. The world throws every excuse your way. And part of you starts to believe it. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should wait. But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. There is no magic feeling. The beginning feels like failure, like embarrassment, like 1,000 eyes waiting for you to trip. But if you never start, you'll never evolve. You'll never conquer. The man you dream of becoming, he's waiting on the other side of your first move. So stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to feel the fire. And move anyway, because the hardest part is the beginning. And once you push past it, you become unstoppable. Most people don't fail at life. They just never start. They talk about change. They dream about freedom. They rehearse the speech they'll give after they make it. But when it's time to move, there is no perfect moment. There is no magic feeling. The beginning feels like failure, like embarrassment, like 1,000 eyes waiting for you to trip. But if you never start, you'll never evolve. You'll never conquer. The man you dream of becoming, he's waiting on the other side of your first move. So stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to feel the fire and move anyway, because the hardest part is the beginning. And once you push past it, you become unstoppable. Most people don't fail at life. They just never start. They talk about change. They dream about freedom. They rehearse the speech they'll give after they make it. But when it's time to move, they freeze. Why? Because beginnings expose everything. Your insecurities, your fears, your lack of direction. And that's why most people hide in preparation. They'll say, I'm just doing research. I'm waiting for the right time. I need to learn more first. But deep down, they're scared. Scared of being seen as a beginner. Scared of not being perfect. Scared of starting with nothing. But here's what they never tell you. Every master was once a mess. Every champion, once a nobody. Every millionaire, once broke and uncertain. They didn't wait until they were ready. They started ugly, started unsure, started anyway. And that's the difference. Not talent, not luck, but courage. The courage to say, I may look foolish now, but I won't stay here forever. I may not have it all figured out, but I'm willing to begin. Because you can fake confidence. You can fake motivation, but you can't fake the work. And the beginning, that's where real ones separate from the dreamers. Starting hurts. You're not good yet. You don't know what you're doing. You feel like a fraud. Every step feels clumsy. Every move feels exposed. You're staring at a mountain, and all you have is a pair of worn-out sneakers and a broken past. But guess what? That's how it's supposed to feel. The beginning isn't meant to be comfortable. It's meant to break you open, to shake the weakness out of your system. You will doubt yourself. You will question the path. You will feel alone. But pain is the price of progress. And every successful person you admire, they bled here too. This is the battlefield before the breakthrough. And if you quit now, you'll never see what you were truly capable of. So stop waiting for it to feel good. Start anyway. Do it while it's painful. Do it while you're scared. Do it while you're still invisible. Because every empire, every legacy, every revolution started with one broken soul who said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. That's the truth they don't post online, and that's why you will win. The beginning isn't just a new chapter, it's a death sentence for who you used to be. That's why it hurts so much. Your old self is fighting to survive. The lazy you, the doubtful you, the scared version of you. He knows what's coming if you stay consistent. He dies, and so he will fight. He'll whisper, this is too hard. You're not like them. Just take it slow. He wants you to play small, to stay where it's safe. But you didn't come this far to listen to him. You're here to evolve, to burn your comfort zone to the ground. And that means killing the version of you that chose excuses over effort. Every time you wake up early, you swing the axe. Every time you show up when it's hard, you bury the old you a little deeper. And one day, he'll be gone, and all that's left is a savage, focused, unstoppable, disciplined. But it starts with war, and that war begins the moment you decide to grow. So don't be surprised by the pain. That's just the sound of your old life, screaming for mercy. Let me tell you something raw. No one's clapping for you right now. No one's checking your progress. No one's cheering you on, and they shouldn't. This is the part where you're invisible, where your grind goes unnoticed, where your wins are too small to celebrate. Good. Stay there. Because this phase builds monsters. You don't need validation, you need reps. No one cares how hard you're trying. They only care when you succeed. So stop looking around for applause. Earn it. Every morning you rise while others sleep. You're earning it. Every time you keep going without results, you're earning it. One day they'll act like they always believed in you. One day they'll quote your journey. But not now. Right now it's just you. And the grind, and that's the best part, because if you can stay loyal to the process before the praise, you've already won. This is where legends are made. In silence, in suffering, in solitude. The beginning is where the great ones are forged. So stop complaining, work. Because one day soon, the same people ignoring you now will beg for your blueprint. Starting from zero, that's the heaviest weight you'll ever carry. No momentum, no followers, no money, no clue what the hell you're doing. just a dream and your doubt. And this is where 99% give up. Because starting from zero feels like climbing Everest with no rope and no oxygen. You look up and it feels impossible. But here's the truth they won't tell you. Everyone you admire started there. They didn't start at the top. They didn't have connections. They didn't get lucky. They just didn't quit. They used the weight of zero to build muscle. They turned frustration into fire. Because when you start with nothing, every inch you move is a victory. You learn to appreciate progress. You stop chasing validation. You become dangerous because pain has trained you. Silence has humbled you. And the grind has hardened you. So embrace zero. Let it fuel you, let it piss you off, let it wake something violent in your soul. Because someday, when you're at the top, and they ask how you made it, you'll smile and say, I started with nothing, and turn that nothing into everything. You could cry about your past, blame your environment, complain about how unfair everything feels, but life will still move on, with or without you. So, what's it going to be? Will you sit in the shadows hoping someone pulls you up, or will you build the ladder yourself? This world owes you nothing. Not a platform, not a helping hand, not even a second chance. You either make it happen, or you don't. That's the reality, and if that scares you, good, let it. Let it light a fire inside you so intense that you never wait on anyone again. Use that rage, use that hunger, use that emptiness, because the ones who win in this world aren't the ones waiting to be seen. They're the ones who decide to be undeniable. So stop asking for permission, stop begging to be noticed. Get so good they can't ignore you. Because once you realize the world owes you nothing, that's when you start building everything. It's easy to look at where you are and feel small. Your goals feel massive. Your life feels messy. Your progress feels invisible. But here's the truth. Small beginnings are sacred. Why? Because what you build in the dark will shine in the light. This is the part where you become resilient, where you sharpen your vision, where you develop grit. You're not just working, you're becoming. Every late night you push through, you're building endurance. Every early morning you show up, you're building discipline. It's not about where you are right now. It's about who you're turning into. You might not see the full picture yet, but that doesn't mean it's not being painted. Every giant started as a whisper. Every empire started as an idea. Every beast was once a beginner. So stop despising your small beginnings. Honor them, because the ones who rise the highest are the ones who respect the bottom. Keep building, keep believing, keep grinding in silence, because one day the world will see what you already know. You were never small. You were just getting started. Most people think fear is the enemy. It's not. Fear is the compass. It tells you where you need to go, what you need to face, where your breakthrough is buried. The reason the beginning feels terrifying? Because you're facing you, your potential, your doubt, your calling, and all of that is wrapped in fear. But fear isn't meant to paralyze you, it's meant to prepare you. It forces you to focus, to train, to commit. Because without fear, there's no growth. The real enemy? Comfort, that voice that says, play it safe, don't take the risk. Wait until everything's perfect. That voice has killed more dreams than failure ever could. So don't run from fear. Stand in front of it. Let it stare you down. Let it shake your hands. Let it punch you in the gut. And then move anyway. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward in spite of it. Fear will always be there. But if you walk through it long enough, it turns into fuel. The first time you post, you'll feel cringe. The first time you speak, you'll stutter. The first time you sell, you'll get rejected. And that's the point. The beginning is supposed to look foolish. You're not supposed to be good. You're supposed to suck, to learn, to evolve. But most people can't handle that. They're too afraid of judgment, too addicted to looking perfect, too proud to look like a beginner, so they stay stuck. They keep their gifts hidden. They keep their voice silent. They keep their dreams on pause. But not you. Because you understand this. Embarrassment is the tax for greatness. You will look stupid at first. You will feel lost at first. But that's how it works. Messy beginnings create beautiful stories. So embrace the awkward phase. Laugh at your mistakes. Keep moving forward. Because while others are waiting to be perfect, you're becoming powerful. You want to be seen. You want your voice heard, your work recognized, your effort appreciated. But here's what nobody tells you. Everyone starts invisible. Your first posts won't get likes. Your ideas won't be shared. Your work will feel like it disappears into a void. And that's normal. This is the test. Can you keep going when no one claps? Can you stay focused when no one's watching? Can you believe in your vision before anyone else does? That's what separates the average from the elite. Most people quit in the shadows. They let silence become their coffin. But the ones who break through, they build in silence. They keep showing up, keep creating, keep pushing, until the world has no choice but to pay attention. Your job isn't to go viral. Your job is to get better every single day, one brick at a time. Eventually the world will notice, not because you screamed the loudest, but because you refused to disappear. So wear your invisibility like armor, and when they finally see you, let them realize you were a monster all along. You think you need more time, more skill, more confidence. You think one day you'll wake up and the fear will magically disappear. It won't. The truth is brutal. You'll never feel ready. Because growth always begins in discomfort. Starting will feel awkward. You'll feel like an imposter. You'll doubt every move you make. But starting anyway is where power begins. The ones who make it, they weren't ready either. They just decided to act anyway, to show up, to risk looking dumb, to build before they believed in themselves. Read that again. They built before they believed. You're not weak because you're afraid. You're human. But every step you take while scared, it rewires your brain. It rewrites your story. You don't wait until you feel ready. You become ready by moving forward. So take the leap. Launch the project. Write the post. Pitch the idea. Because your future doesn't need a perfect you. It just needs a brave you. Let's kill a fantasy. There is no such thing as overnight success. It's a lie sold to lazy minds who want fast results with minimal effort. The truth? Every overnight success you admire spent years bleeding in the dark, failing in silence, training with no audience, sacrificing when nobody cared. But you didn't see that part. You only saw the highlight reel, the mansion, the applause, the followers. So now you think you're behind. You're not. You're just in the part they don't show, the grind, the mess, the boring, lonely work that turns nobodies into legends. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 40. That's the quickest way to sabotage your potential. Instead, fall in love with the process. Obsess over the craft. Stack the days, one after the other. Because the only thing that separates the great from the forgotten is time plus consistency. You don't have to blow up tomorrow. You just have to not give up today. Every time you feel resistance, that's your signal. Not to run, not to freeze, but to lean in. Discomfort isn't something to avoid. It's the price you pay to grow. Think about it. Lifting heavy weights, it hurts. But it builds strength. Speaking in public? It's scary, but it builds influence. Launching something new? Risky, but it builds courage. The brain wants safety. Because every breakthrough begins on the other side of, I'm not sure. Let this sink in. You don't need anyone's permission to begin. Not your parents, not your partner, not your friends. You don't need their support. You don't need their understanding. You don't need their applause. Too many people die with their dreams still inside them because they were waiting for someone to say, it's okay, you're good enough. But here's the truth. You were good enough the moment you decided you were. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need a diploma to create. You don't need approval to matter. The only green light that matters is your own. So give yourself permission to be a beginner, to be seen trying, to fail publicly. The faster you stop needing permission, the faster you'll become dangerous, because when you move without approval, you become unstoppable. Here's the honest truth. You're going to be bad at it. Your first video will be awkward. Your first design will be ugly. Your first pitch will flop. Your first attempt will be embarrassing, but that's the price of entry. Nobody starts great. You think the masters were born with talent? No, they were just bold enough to be beginners. They were brave enough to suck and keep going anyway. Because the real flex, it's not being naturally gifted, it's being relentless when you're bad. That's what makes you dangerous. So if you're embarrassed by your work right now, good. It means you're in motion. It means you're doing the hard part. Creating without praise, learning without results, showing up without applause. That's the currency of greatness. Keep paying it. You don't have to have it all figured out. In fact, you won't. Not in the beginning. You'll feel lost. You'll question everything. You'll wonder if you're even on the right path. That's normal. Confusion isn't failure. It's growth in progress. You're not supposed to know all the steps yet. You're supposed to move anyway. Clarity doesn't come from sitting still. It comes from doing, from failing, from adjusting, from showing up and figuring it out one brutal, messy, glorious step at a time. The people who win, they don't wait for the fog to clear. They walk through it. Even when they can't see the end, even when they're scared, they're making the wrong choice. Because momentum creates direction, and direction leads to answers. So embrace the mess. Confusion means you're evolving. Look around. Everyone's pretending they have time, but they don't. Neither do you. Life is moving fast, and while you're doubting yourself, while you're overthinking the first move, while you're waiting for the right moment, someone else is starting. They're not smarter than you. They're not better than you. They're just braver than you. They understood something you didn't. That the only difference between day one and one day is action. Time won't wait for you to feel ready. Every second you hesitate, that's a second you'll never get back. So if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. You don't have forever. You don't even have tomorrow guaranteed. The window is open right now. Jump. They won't see the vision, they'll laugh, they'll talk, they'll doubt, because your ambition threatens their comfort. But don't take it personal. They're projecting their limits on you. They need you to play small, so they can feel safe. Let them. You're not here to make them comfortable. You're here to become undeniable. And that won't happen by asking for their approval. The beginning is lonely. People won't understand your obsession. They won't support the sacrifices. That's fine. Your future doesn't require their permission. And when the results start speaking for you, the same people who doubted you will act like they always believed in you. Keep receipts, keep building, keep going, let them doubt, then make them regret it. You want an easy life now, or a powerful one later, because every time you procrastinate, every time you avoid the hard thing, every time you shrink from fear, you rob your future self of everything they could become. You owe them more. You owe them discipline when motivation fades. You owe them action when doubt screams. You owe them belief when nobody else claps. They're counting on you. They're waiting to live the life you're too scared to start building. So when you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway. Not for today's comfort, but for tomorrow's freedom. Build a life your future self would thank you for, or stay stuck and make them hate you for wasting it all. your move. Pain is not the enemy, comfort is. Because strength doesn't come from ease, it comes from resistance. Think about it. Muscles grow by tearing, hearts grow by breaking, legends grow by suffering. It's the grind, the sweat, the nights no one sees. That's where strength is built, not in perfect conditions, not in praise, but in pressure. And here's the secret. You're stronger than you think. You just haven't been tested yet, but when the pain hits, and it will, you don't fold, you rise. You show life that it picked the wrong person to break, and in doing so, you become unshakable. In comfort, you forget who you are. But pain reminds you. It strips away the noise. It humbles you. It shows you what matters. Because when everything falls apart, your fake friends disappear, your distractions fade, your excuses die, and what's left, you, raw, real, ready to rebuild. Pain clears the fog. It reminds you of the mission. It reminds you of your strength. It reminds you that the only way out is through. So when it hurts, good. Now you can finally see. Ever noticed how the most successful people, they came from pain? They were broke. They were rejected. They were told, "You'll never make it," and that lit a fire. Pain gave them something no privilege ever could: hunger. The kind that doesn't quit. The kind that doesn't care how tired you are. The kind that wakes you up at 3 a.m. thinking, "I'm not done yet." So if you've been struggling, you're not behind. You're loading. You're growing an appetite. Because when someone who's been starving finally gets a shot, they don't play with it, they eat. It's easy to look good when everything's working. But who are you when it all collapses? When the plan fails? When nobody's watching? When you're broke, tired, doubting everything? That's your real character. And pain? Pain introduces you to it. It reveals your grit. It shows you your flaws. It forces you to evolve or give up. So let the pain hit, because every scar you earn, that's a lesson tattooed in discipline, that's character in the making. And one day, it'll be the reason they respect you, not for how high you climbed, but for what you crawled through to get there. There's no greatness without pain, none. You can't cheat the process, you can't shortcut the suffering, you can't fake the fight. Greatness is earned, not in public, but in pain. The sleepless nights, the silent battles, the days you wanted to quit and didn't. That's what builds you, not the finish line, but the hell you walked through to reach it. So next time it hurts, smile. That's the price of greatness, and most won't pay it. But you were built for this. No one claps for you at the beginning. No applause, no cameras, no respect, just you and your doubts. You walk alone, with no proof, no results, just raw belief. And it's heavy. You'll question everything, your talent, your worth, your path. That's normal. What's not normal is giving up. Because those early days, they mold you. They either break your will or build your fire. You'll wake up tired. You'll work in silence. You'll sacrifice things no one will ever know about. But when you keep going, when you endure the silence, the weight, the ache, you evolve. And soon, that same silence becomes your sanctuary. Not a punishment, a proving ground. So carry the burden. Wear it like armor, because when the world finally sees you, they won't understand the price you paid, but you will. Pain is your personal gym. Every setback is a rep. Every failure, a new muscle. Most people quit because it hurts. You grow because it hurts. You're not training your body. You're training your spirit, your will, your capacity to endure. Every moment you want to quit, but don't, you level up. You become harder to break, more dangerous. While they avoid pressure, you embrace it. While they seek comfort, you choose the grind. This isn't about physical pain. It's mental, emotional, the kind that makes your chest heavy and your nights long. But you show up anyway. Because greatness isn't built in ease. It's forged under weight, under resistance. Welcome it. Let it reshape you. Let it hurt. So one day, nothing else can. There's a place where most people never go. It's the place where no one believes in you, where progress is invisible, where pain is constant, and quitting seems logical. That's the birthplace of greatness. You see, legends aren't born under spotlights. They're born in the shadows, in silence, in isolation. You want success? You'll have to survive that place. You'll have to get comfortable with not being seen, not being understood, not being clapped for. You'll have to create your own momentum, be your own hype man. Trust your steps even when no one else does. Because once you rise from that darkness, you'll carry something most never will. Proof that you didn't need approval. You needed pressure, and pressure made you powerful. The beginning is hell. But even when you rise, the fire follows you. You just learn to walk through it. Because if it was easy, you'd forget what it took. Pain isn't just part of the process. It is the process. Every level comes with a new devil, more weight, more doubt, more sacrifice. But here's what changes. You grow fangs, you stop flinching, you build calluses on your soul. That's why you don't pray for it to get easier. You train to get stronger. Because now pain doesn't stop you, it starts you. That first struggle, it was just the warm-up. Remember that, you wanted this. You said you were tired of being broke, tired of being small, tired of the old version of you. Well, this is the price. Early mornings, lonely nights, doubt louder than your heartbeat. But this isn't punishment. It's the path. You can't shortcut it. You can't fake it. You have to survive it. Every tear, every L, every failure. So don't complain now, don't run. Stand up, because this is what you signed up for. And one day, you'll look back at this moment and say, that's where I became unstoppable. The road at the start, it's lonely as hell. No crowd cheering you on, no friends waiting to celebrate, just silence and your shadow. People will call you crazy, unrealistic, foolish. They'll say, why bother? Because they can't see what you see. They don't feel the fire inside you, the hunger that won't quit. So you walk alone, not because you want to, because you have to. It's in that solitude. You discover who you really are, your fears, your doubts, your strength. Don't fear loneliness. Fear being a shadow of your own potential. That very first step, it feels like moving a mountain. You want to start, you want change, but the weight of the unknown presses down. What if you fail? What if you're not enough? That's the voice trying to stop you. But here's the truth. No one ever starts feeling ready. You start anyway. That first step, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be taken. Because the moment you take it, you've already won the battle against fear. It's hard, it's uncomfortable, it's terrifying, but it's the only way. Most people never break the cycle. They stay stuck where it's easy. Comfortable pain is still pain, but it's safe. And safe keeps you small. If you want more freedom, more respect, more power, you have to break the cycle. That means fighting through resistance, sacrificing temporary pleasure, embracing discomfort like a friend. Change isn't a visitor, it's a constant companion. You either run from it or you grow because of it. There is no shortcut, no magic pill, no luck. There is only persistence. Persistence is ugly. It's painful, it's lonely, but it's powerful. When you show up day after day, when you keep grinding through pain, you build a force no one can stop. Others will quit when the fire gets hot. But you'll learn to dance in the flames. Persistence isn't just endurance, it's proof of your commitment. You don't see the growth happening. You only see the struggle, but that's the nature of the process. Roots grow underground, invisible, slow, but when they break the surface, they're unshakable. So trust the process. Trust the pain, trust the grind, because every struggle is a seed, and every seed is a promise. If you hold on, you will bloom. Nobody wakes up ready, nobody wakes up motivated, but the ones who win, they embrace the grind. The long hours, The cold calls, the rejection, the doubt, they show up anyway, because they know the grind is the gateway, the place where dreams get forged into reality. So stop wishing for easier. Start learning to love the struggle, because inside that pain lies your future. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is a teacher, a brutal one, but a necessary one. You will fail. You will fall. You will face moments where quitting seems like the only option. But the difference between winners and losers? Winners fail forward. They take every setback, every missed shot, and use it as fuel. Fuel to learn, fuel to improve, fuel to rise again. Stop fearing failure. Start fearing never trying. Rejection cuts deep. It whispers lies in your ear. You're not good enough. You don't belong. You should give up. But rejection is a badge, a sign you're trying, a sign you're moving. Everyone who ever succeeded got rejected first. So when it comes knocking, don't shut the door. Invite it in, look it in the eye, and keep moving forward. At the start, you'll feel isolated, like you're the only one fighting. But isolation isn't a curse. It's a blessing in disguise. It sharpens your focus. It strengthens your mind. It builds your resilience. When you're alone in the trenches, that's when you build the mental armor, the kind that protects you from distraction, doubt, and defeat. Learn to love the quiet, because in that silence, your true power is born. Success demands sacrifice. Not just time, not just money, but people. You will lose friends, lose comfort, lose parts of who you used to be, because growth is painful. It pulls you away from old habits, old mindsets, old lives. If you want something different, you must be willing to pay the price. No sacrifice, no transformation. So ask yourself, are you ready to pay the cost? Because the process doesn't negotiate. Your companion, not your enemy. Pain isn't a signal to stop. It's a sign you're on the right path. The hardest part is always the beginning, because pain is loudest then. It screams in your ears. It weighs heavy on your chest. It threatens to break you. But here's the secret. Pain is your companion in this fight. It's the fuel that powers your will, the fire that tempers your resolve. You don't run from it. You lean into it. Because every great success story is also a story of pain endured, pain conquered, pain transformed. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your proof. Proof that you're growing. Proof that you're alive. Proof that you're fighting to become more. Starting is heavy, heavier than anyone tells you. It's the weight of doubt crushing your chest, the weight of fear freezing your limbs, the weight of uncertainty clouding your mind. You carry it every day. But here's the truth, the weight doesn't disappear. You get stronger under it. You build muscle in your mind. You develop grit in your bones. And soon, that weight becomes your weapon. A weapon forged by early struggle, tempered in long nights, sharpened by relentless effort. Don't wish for the weight to vanish. Wish to become strong enough to carry it. The start is a test, the ultimate test of your commitment. It separates those who dream from those who do, those who quit from those who fight. At this point, your only competition is yourself. The question isn't if you will face pain, it's whether you will survive it. Because the pain of beginning is a gatekeeper. Only those willing to endure the struggle are allowed through to greatness. You must pass this test. No shortcuts, no excuses. It's brutal, it's merciless, but it's necessary. The hardest part is learning to think differently, to see pain not as punishment, but as progress, to see failure not as an end, but as a lesson, to see loneliness not as isolation, but as growth. It's a shift in perspective that few make, but those who do, they become unstoppable. Because once your mind changes, your world changes. Pain becomes fuel. Failure becomes feedback. The struggle becomes your story. No matter how slow you go, keep moving forward. Progress isn't always a sprint. Sometimes it's a crawl. But every step counts. Every painful moment endured, every doubt faced down, every sacrifice made, it all moves you closer to your goal. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the pain to disappear. Take the step, then the next, then the next. Because the hardest part isn't just starting, it's continuing, and you have what it takes. Persistence is the silent beast inside you, the part of you that refuses to quit. It's the grind when no one's watching, the fight in the darkest moments, the voice that whispers, one more step. You won't always feel like a warrior. Sometimes you'll feel broken, but persistence turns broken into unbreakable, weakness into strength, defeat into victory. This is the power you carry when you choose to keep going. No matter what, struggle is not a punishment, it's a promise. A promise that you are becoming more than you were yesterday, that you're being tested because you're destined for greatness. When you embrace the struggle, you stop fearing the fall. You learn to rise faster. This journey is never easy. It's supposed to be hard, because the reward is worth the pain. How you start shapes everything that follows. Do you quit at the first sign of pain? Or do you stand tall, grit your teeth and push forward? The hardest part is always the beginning, but the way you handle that beginning determines if you become a legend or a forgotten dream. The choice is yours. Own it. True strength isn't loud. It doesn't seek applause. It doesn't need validation. Strength is quiet. It's the calm in the storm, the fire burning behind your eyes. Beast in silence is for those who build quietly, work relentlessly, and let their success roar louder than any noise ever could. You are that beast, silent but deadly. This is the mission, to harness your pain, your struggle, and your fear, to transform into the person who gets up when no one else does. Beast in silence isn't just a name, it's a way of life, a code for those who grind alone, who conquer silently, who rise without fanfare. Your journey starts here. The hardest part is always the beginning, but you are stronger than you know. Now, go build your legacy. Be the beast in silence. Welcome to Beast in Silence, where you are encouraged to succeed. This is a battlefield, not just a channel. This is a war zone, not against anybody but against poverty. Share and like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This is for you. Be a beast in silence.